Hello everyone, here we are with Tattered Paper and Lace. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming along. If you have been a subscriber and coming along, I appreciate you coming back. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. We are again today doing the Margarete Millers Weekly Collage Challenge. And we are on week 4. So time is marching on. We are on week 4, and let's see what our prompts are today. We need something related to a religious or secular holiday, ledger paper, a game or a puzzle piece, something you find in a garage, a pair of something, and the bonus is a zigzag pattern. So let's see what we have for today. So again, I started with my background because it was ledger paper, and I knew that I had a big enough piece of ledger, and this ledger is, I got this so inexpensive. I believe I was in Greenville, Tennessee. We had gone to a concert, and we were staying a day or two before the concert. And so we were looking around at antique stores, and this ledger, I have to show you this ledger. Hold on. I wasn't gonna get it out, but let me show it. I have to show you this ledger. Here it is. It's long. It's very long. It's like, let's see. It's almost 11 and a half inches, about 11 and 5/8 inches long. So it's long. And look at this tattered label. And it says Rufus M. Owens here, January through, I can't tell what that says. January, looks like January through or something. That looks like a 14th, so I don't know. But look at the date. It's 1888. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see. But look at these pages. Ah, so wonderful. And this is coming apart. I plan on using this cover. Show you the other side. Just looks like this. I plan on using this as the cover of a journal at some point. I love that. It only, I believe, if I'm remembering right, I think it was only $4. And of course, you know, I was like, I couldn't grab it quick enough. So, I mean, it was very inexpensive. So I'm using that as my sheet, and I chose this side. Two things that's cool about it. One is it has red lines, and I'm going to have a good bit of red in my collage. And the other thing that's interesting is this whole page has been marked out. So I just thought that would be something interesting. And it also had the date of 1891 up here. So again, I thought that would be kind of cool. So we are going to go ahead and put this down. Very fragile paper. I am going to put it down with a glue stick, but I'm going to do the glue stick on my page, because this is so fragile that I would be afraid to try to use the glue stick on the actual paper, because it is very fragile, tears very easily. So I don't want to use it on that paper, and I don't want to use regular glue, because I you know, art glitter glue or anything like that, because I think it also would be too much for it. So we're just going to use a glue stick on the page, just like this. And then I'm just going to put it down and hopefully get it in the right place first time around. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't mind if it's not perfect. It's not perfect, and that's okay. Okay, so that is my background. I tell you, that's how I started. If there is something that can work as a background, that's where I go. That's where I go to first. I like to have a background of some kind. I obviously don't necessarily collage a background. And so that is going to be it right here. The rest of it, I think I will use art glitter glue here. Get my little bottle. Okay, so now I have, let me show you what I will use as the religious or secular holiday. So this is what I'm going to use. Can you tell what holiday this should be? It is a Cupid, or a cherub Cupid, cherub, whatever, but I'm calling it a Cupid. Her bow and arrow is laid aside, so she doesn't have that in her hand. So that would be for Valentine's Day. So that is going to be my image for religious or secular holiday. This is my ledger paper, which is the background. We'll do the game piece later. I'll talk about that in a minute. Something you find in the garage. I am going to use this little bicycle that you might find in a garage. A pair of something, I will be using these people. And a zigzag pattern, I will be stamping with this rubber stamp that is a zigzag pattern. So that is what I am doing. And I've got, with these things, I have the prompts covered. So to make my collage and my story, I have a story. This little Cupid has been working on getting this couple together. She's been working very hard. I'm trying to get this couple together because, well, as men so often are, he was not, you know, he's like, oh, just sometime, we'll get together sometime. We'll make it a permanent thing sometime. And, you know, and he just wasn't going anywhere with it. And so the Cupid was trying to get them together. So she finally is able to get them together. I'm going to use this brick pattern, this piece of scrapbooking paper that is a brick. I'm going to use it as a brick wall. And this couple, he has finally decided that he would move forward with the relationship. And so he has invited her to meet him at the wall where they oftentimes would meet, because it's a public place but a private place, and this is in 1891. So you know, they would have to be somewhat discreet about where they meet so that they don't get bad, you know, a bad rap for not having a chaperone or whatever. So this is a public place, but kind of a private place in a little walled off area of a garden. And it's actually her favorite place. And he arrives on a bicycle. So here is his bicycle. And he has arrived to meet her on the bicycle. And this is actually the lady's favorite place because it is a rose garden. And so here is our rose. And then the Cupid is propped up on the wall. And you see this expression. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. She is like, oh my goodness, finally, I get these two together. It's just like taken forever, but they are finally together because this man is popping the question right here and now. And it looks like that maybe she has already said yes. He brought her roses, and he might have gotten them from the rose garden. So one of the things we have left is a game piece or puzzle piece. So I had these little tiny playing cards. I mean, just little tiny playing cards. They're about, I don't know, let's see how big they are. They are like an inch and a half by an inch and an eighth. Yeah, an inch and an eighth. So they're little tiny playing cards, but they still were bigger than I wanted a game piece. And I'm using this, so this is a game piece. You play cards, that's a game. So I'm calling this a game piece. And I will say here that these prompts are suggestions. They are to be interpreted the way you interpret them. So for me, a card is a game piece. So I thought about using the Two of Hearts, but I couldn't figure out a good place to put it and make it make sense. So I'm going to use it over here, my little quick collage I do to put my prompts on. But I have, yet again, even smaller cards. Little tiny cards. And these are very little. These are a 1/2 inch by 3/8. Little tiny playing cards. And they're not, it's not a deck of cards. They're all Ace of Spades and Queen of Hearts. So we're going to use a Queen of Hearts. And guess what I'm going to do with it? Now this is going to be, this young man was a little ahead of his time, because what he did with his playing card is we don't know about it until much later, but maybe in this time they had thought about it as well. And if you will remember, we used to put playing cards in our bicycle tires, so they would make the click click noise when you were riding. So that's what I'm doing with playing card. It's going to be in his wheels, so he will have the click 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 sound of the playing card as he rolls along. We used to, as kids, I don't know about you, but we had people that did that. I didn't ever do that, but we had people that did. So I was very familiar with it. So I'm going to put that in his wheel so that that's why I'm saying I think he's ahead of his time, but maybe not. They had playing cards back then. And I'm sure kids must have figured out something about it. So that is going to be basically my collage. I will stamp the zigzag pattern right here, and I'll do that in a minute. But for now, this is going to be my collage. I like it. So it is about Valentine's, which is the secular holiday. I've put ledger paper as my background. A game or puzzle piece is my tiny playing card. A pair of something is the couple, and the zigzag pattern will be my stamped stitching. So let's get to putting this down, because this is going to go down first. It's the piece that's on the very bottom. And anyway, so here we are. I again am filming early. I like to try to get these done earlier. Like I said, I think on the last video you saw, I will be out of town, or just back into town on the day this airs. And so I try to keep a little ahead. So I'm usually filming earlier on these collages. And I do want to point out again that these are suggestions, and they are to be interpreted in your own way. So, if you, sometimes I see people say, oh, well, I don't know, this is, I don't know if I'm cheating or what, because I'm going to do this for this, for this. And it's not cheating. It's however you interpret the prompt. Now, I put this over this a little bit, so I'll have to just lift this up and put it down, because I wanted this to go over that just a little bit. So it's really, there is no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong in a collage. It's yours. It's your art. you do what you want to do, how you want to do it. If you have a story, great. If you don't, that's okay too. If you just put random pieces down, that's really okay too. I mean, it is all about, I think I can stick that back under there. It's all about what you want to do. So I urge you not to be, if you've just started this challenge and you get all frustrated and anxious about, I don't know what she means by this, or does she mean this? She being Margarete Miller, does she mean this or does she mean this? And it is all about how you interpret it and what your feeling about it is. So don't stress. And if you don't have one or two pieces, who cares? Just do you. So that's a Tim Holtz statement. You do you. So if you don't have everything, or if you go, this just does not make sense, I'm not going to do it. The collage police, well, there are no collage piece. So anybody that might think they're policing, well, ignore them because there are no collage police. But you just do what you feel like you should do. And if you, like I'm adding the brick wall. That has nothing to do with any of the prompts, and that is okay. I wanted the brick wall because it makes my collage look more like I wanted it to look. And that's okay. Any of those things are okay. So I can't urge you enough to just have fun, do what you do, make your collage, and, let the prompts be a suggestion. They really are just a suggestion. I'm going to dot that over here so I don't get glue on my thingy here. And don't fret. Just don't fret. A collage is a collage is a collage. And it's your collage, and it gets to be what you want it to be. And then you can share, and we'll all, this is a very kind community, and everybody speaks kindly of everybody else's work because it is it's art. So art is interpreted differently by different people. And so that's how I would approach these collages, or any collage. If you have any collage that you're doing prompts with, or not, just any collage you do, it is just your inspiration wherever that comes from. It could just be when you're looking at your collage fodder, something in that may spark your imagination about something, and you just go for it. I've got several. I have a book, a journal that I just put random collages in. I have this journal that I am putting the Margarete Millers in, and then I have the 2023 journal that I made for the Margarete Millers. Well, I didn't really make it, but I have. And then I have also the 2021 one, which is where I started these ones, since COVID. I did have these in 2020, no, excuse me, I have 22 and 23. 21 is, I believe, when she started these and offering the prompts on her Etsy store. And I believe that started in 21. No, this is the fourth one. No, I guess she started them in, I don't know. But in any case, she's been doing this a while, even in a Facebook group she had, which I think she has opened that Facebook group up again. So I believe it's called Vintage Glue Book and Pages, if I'm remembering correctly. I haven't gone to check to see if she has those, but my understanding was that she would be opening that again. And that is where you could also post, if you don't have a YouTube, join that that Facebook group, and you can post your collages in that group. And that'd be a great way to show them. And like I said, I haven't gone back to check to see if she's opened it yet, but I got her newsletter. I get her newsletter, and she had said that she was going to open that Facebook group again. Now we need to put our little Cupid up here. I love the expression on this little Cupid, and I will say that the bicycle image, the couple, and the Cupid, and this all came from a collage book. So I just went to my collage books and said, let me see what I can find. And that's okay too. You don't have to get them they don't have to be vintage. They don't have to be out of a magazine. They can be wherever you find the images that you like. And I happen to like all of these images. And I mean, you know, February is right around the corner, believe it or not. So, you know, February 14th is coming up. That's a secular holiday. And that's what I'm going with. And that's the images I happen to find. So let's get our little Cupid on here. Just like that. I love it. Now, I do have a bit of a dilemma because this is blank, and I don't know if I like that or not, but I don't know exactly what to do there. I do have, this is the collage book that the rose came out of. It has 200 old things to cut and collage, and I have this sort of vine piece right here that I could make just kind of go across, or at least some pieces of it. So it's the only thing I could find. There was another rose, but I didn't really want to do another rose, and they're big, so I didn't know. Let's see if I can find. I know this is kind of big. Let me see if I can raise you up just a little bit, and I'll try to remember to bring you back down. So I'm looking at that possibility to make some vines go, you know, or at least coming out from here maybe. And this is what I'm looking at. I don't want it to be very heavy. I had these leaves that I cut off. They were somewhere over here. I actually thought I might put them under there, but I didn't obviously do that. So I could cut those off and make those, but those seem a little heavy. I need something a little more delicate. These are more rose leaves. I don't want to do the rose, I don't think, because I think that would just be too much. And again, I may just not do anything else. I don't know. Oh, that's kind of neat. But that, no, I need it to be sort of vinyl. And I had somewhere, I couldn't find them. I had some ivy die cuts. I could not find them. Oh, wait. I know where they might be. Let me look one more place before I make a decision about this. Put my weight on here. Let me get those. See if they're up here. Nope, they're not. Oh well, okay. And maybe I don't. So let me know what you think. Maybe I can fussy cut this and not take too long to do it. Again, I don't edit, and my camera, I use my phone, and it will not let me. Oh, I've got to also stamp my zigzag. It will not let me pause. So I can't pause and go cut this and then come back. It won't let me do that. So you either have to watch me cut out the whole thing, or I don't do it yet. And I don't know if this is going to be a little bit, let me bring you back in. This is going to be a little bit fussy to try to cut. Let me do the stamping before I forget. Get my block out here. So I've got this block here, And let me just put this on here. Can you see what I'm doing? There you go. Now you can. And I will use archival ink in black. I could, no, I'll do it in black. I could do it in red, but I think I'll do it in black. And this will be my zigzag pattern. I thought about using washi tape, but I didn't have one that I thought would look good, so I didn't do that. So I'm just going to stick this right here, just like that, and there is my zigzag pattern. Simple as that. So again, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you, just do it. Just do it and make art, and all is well. Okay, so let's decide whether or not I think I want any. If I do, I might just do, you know, like part of this coming out. So let me, I think if I do this, maybe, you know, I want it to be like it's climbing up the wall. Maybe, I think maybe, so I don't mess up the whole thing, I can use the rest of it for something else. Let's try this little piece right here. Go around this. Let's try, I'm going to cut this out roughly, and then we'll go in, and then if I need another piece, we can do it different, another one. I'm going to try to do it kind of slim, and I will do a little inking because I really don't want it to stand out with the edge. I'm only going to have to do the edge because these veins, or these branches, little branchy things, are so tiny that I can't cut it as close as the branches because it is too thin, especially this leaf right here. But I will try to cut the leaves a little closer, and if I have to, I can go in with a black marker and make the branches a little thicker. And see, I've got this little tiny piece right in here. We'll see what we're going to do about that. I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to cut the leaves a little close if I can. And I'll cut this as close as I think that I can and get away with it. Same here. And when you're doing some fussy cutting, there are some parts, like I'm going to not cut this little bit right here. I'm going to cut it off. There are some parts you can cut off when you're fussy cutting because some things you don't absolutely have to have in when you're cutting it out. And if you cut it out, nobody but you, if you're not doing it on camera, nobody but you will even know that it was even there. So I choose to cut off and not include some really fine points if it makes sense to not be there. So I will do that on occasion, just like I'm not doing the top of, I'm gonna have to get my little scissors. If it makes sense to not do it, then don't do it. I think these scissors are great. I don't know who makes them. I don't remember. I bought them at Tuesday Morning a number of years ago. I think I've talked about these before. But I actually think these are, I really don't know. I need a piece of black paper so maybe you can see it. No, not black because it is black. But I did show these one time before. But if you can see the blades, this is the top blade and it's the most sharp. And it is what we'll get into. But the blades are both bent. This blade is bent this way and this blade is bent that way. Came that way, intended to be that way. And you can really get in this top one is very sharp, very pointy. and it can get into fine areas so well. I love it. Cut that little piece off, it's in my way. And then let's proceed. As you see, I like to use the big scissors when I can, but sometimes when it gets very delicate, it's easier to use my little ones. And if you will notice, I mostly am moving the paper. That is the best way I have found to fussy cut, is to move your piece of paper rather than your scissors, especially when you are doing rounded things. Okay, so I've got this cut out except for the inside part, but before I tackle that, let's see what I think about that. So we could have this coming down like this as a little extra bit of foliage, just a little something else. Could come down here like that. I could do another little piece that might go winding over this way. Let's see. Maybe the top, just the top of this a little bit, just a little, have a little bit more, or it might not need anything. Let me look. Let's bring it in just a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? So I'm not going to glue it down because I'm iffy about it, but I will ask. You tell me. Would you put this little piece of vine in here? And I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and cut out the middle part of this, and we'll see what we think about it a little bit better, maybe, because it will be a little bit more cut out. I don't know, it's just, it's still not as delicate as I'd like for it to be. But it might be, could be just the right thing, I don't know. I'm very indecisive about that. So this little piece, it's a little harder to get to here. There. And I think I might just leave that a little bit. And I don't mind, I thought I might mind that. I really don't, but I am going to still take a little bit of ink. I'm doing it over here to the side and just inking that little bit of background that's showing up so that it's a little bit darker, a little bit closer to the color of everything else. Not much, and it didn't change it a whole lot, but it did change it maybe a little bit. So I kind of like it. But again, I'm just not sure. Is it lonely? It kind of looks like it's lonely. Like, oh, I'm the only piece over here. I'm the only leaves over here. Do I want to be over here? I don't know. Well, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to glue it. I want you to tell me. Tell me what you think. Should I put it here? Pull it down here? So it's kind of like hanging over the bicycle. Or should I not have it at all? You tell me. That is my question for the day. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to make my little tiny collage over here to put my prompts on. So this is the piece that came off the bottom of this, I think. I think that's the whole. Oh, I made it. I cut it. I pulled it. I pulled this piece off because I didn't want that to be quite as wide. So this was here, and it came off the bottom of here, off the bottom of this background. So I'm using that, and I tore off this blank part at the bottom because it was a little too. I wanted to put it sideways, and it's a little too wide. So I want to do it like that. And then I want, let me move it over. And I'm having to, I'm staggering where I put these. And I think on the last one, yeah. Oh, on the last one, I put it at the top. Is that right? Is that the last one? Yes. I got to put this one at the bottom. Almost made a grave error there. Okay, so I'll put it more toward the bottom. And I was going to use the 2 of Hearts over here. This little bit bigger playing card over here is part of my collage over here, just like that. But I am, you know what I'm going to do? You know what else I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down my, prompt piece. I don't think I cut that straight. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but if you've done this before, you notice that the prompts are printed a little differently and they don't have the complete border around them. I'm trying to decide if I like that or not. It's different because I always used my decal scissors to cut around that border, which it made it look kind of like it was the border. I mean, it fit along the edge of that border quite nicely. I think this is what I'm going to do over here to put my prompts on. I'm going to ink around my prompts. I don't always do that. Oh, and I may do some of the now I hope you're looking at this and deciding what you want to do with that, or if you want to use that vine at all, and tell me what you think. And I'll have a poll, and then the next video I do for the collages, I'll let you know and show you what I did based on what you tell me. Because I'm up in the air. I could do it or I could not. And I'd like to know what you think about it. So please comment and let me know. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, I think, for my little collage over on this side. So we'll get that down. I am going to try, oh, this has got red writing. Ooh, maybe we want this side. It has more writing. Ooh, I think I want this side. Yes. I like the red writing. You can't see that. I don't know, can you see that? Let me bring in. I don't know if you can see the red writing or not. It has red writing. So I'm going to do the red side, the red writing side. So anyway, I will let you go. This is what I'm going to do, and I'll glue this down after I've signed off with you guys. And again, I really would like to know what you think about this vine. Do we do it or do we not do it? So we have A position, the vine at the top. B position, vine at the bottom. And C is no vine at all. So I am not going to glue this down. I'm not going to do anything with it until I get some comments to tell me what you think. And then I will let you know in the next video what the results were and what I decided to do. I thank you for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. If you would like to get further videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Again, thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for subscribing, those who have subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I appreciate every one of you so much. This is such a loving, giving community. And I love to see other people's work, and I try to comment on other people's work myself because the comments are important. So if you'll leave a comment for me, I'd appreciate it. Let me know. A, B, or C means no vine. Let me know what you think. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.